Conformity. Does this word resonate with you? But what does it mean to conform in its simple definition? Conformity is simply complying to standards, rules, and laws. Now, if we look at the 3D world, we see great depictions and examples of what we are expected to do and conform. But if you break down this word conform, you could simply see it as a very, almost like the word con, as in con artist, a conning way of pretty much creating you in form. So we now have to look deeply within this way of conformity into our 3D world and see to it that, is this really a way, as it said in its definition, of complying in a very conning way by those who oversee this 3D world to get us to create a form that is only for their best interest, but not for ours. So we see that we are pretty much told from our very birth during this lifetime, as we see that we are often conditioned from, birth, through family, schooling, and work lives, and just from various institutional and social organization in this socio-economic world. Now, we have set up these great rules, standards, and structures of how we are expected to comply through conformity. Through, as we could look at, or judicial, or political, or religious, and just socially accepted organizational groups in this 3D world. Let's look at a few examples. We are told to comply. First of all, when you're at an age where you're able to drive, let's say you're at age 16 and you're now able to get your license. Before you could do that, you have to first conform to the rules of first getting that license through taking the test and conforming to making sure that your vehicle is registered and licensed. You are told to conform to, once you do start driving, to not drink and drive. Now we see that, of course. We can all look at that and see this is a reasonable way of conforming. As we don't want to go out and hurt anybody, but the expectation is out there that we must follow these rules, or else the laws and standards set in place, there will be great penalties. We see that other examples, you must be at a certain age of, adulthood. For some places it's 21 or it's 18. For example, to be able to purchase tobacco or to purchase liquor, or else there will be great penalties for that. We are told, if we look at religious perspectives, you must not engage in activities such as adultery, or else, based on these conformity rules, it would be more or less a socially punished thing where you will be looked down at. Do not steal, do not lie, all of these great perspectives. But what we are now seeing as we shift through these ages into this new era of the Aquarian age is to conform to certain rule, laws, and standards that we now have to question. Are these ways of conforming catering to the greater good? You are asked to conform. You must take this. dot dot dot, or else. You must take this shot, or else. You must continue to engage in certain activities that may be to hurt someone else if you want to be part of this work or cult-like or cultic organization, or else you lose all your resources in the material world. You must continue to just accept and go with the status quo way of living, else you will be looked down at. So we have to see that. Why is it that this 3D world was created all on conformity? You see, we can, as I said, we break down the word con, and we could relate it as con artists, very, a very manipulative, tactical way and strategic way of doing things. As we see, we are energetic beings in form, so it's a very cunning way of creating our new form. But what we have to now see, we're going through a great shift right now, and we now have to ask ourselves, wow, putting together these scare tactics to try to transform us in very form is a very conforming way of doing things. But we now have to make this decision to see, is this for our highest and greater good? So the very question of conforming is something that we now have to look within to find the answers, to see that the pattern of just conforming to these very standards, laws, and rules as we shift through the ages, we have to tell ourselves, these 3D way of doing things, has it fully embraced us into becoming our best versions of ourselves? And as we see, we go through this great awakening stage, we're seeing that we have to now cater and heal those very fragmented parts of ourselves that we have failed to look at, not just from this life, but from past lives. And what we have to pay a specific attention to as we look at the word conform, con and way of creating our form in this physical aspect of life, we now have to tell ourselves these very laws, rules, and standards is a very strategic way of trying to create a certain way of living in this new world in our Aquarian age. Now, do we have to continue just conforming, to continue to have these certain organizations and groups and entities to kind of exert their own power and dominion over all of us? Or is it now time that we take our power from within of making these very critical decisions through our own internal compass? We have to get to the place where we take back our life force and remain in our highest energetic vibration to create the truest form in this new paradigm. So, I live this very integral question. What are you going to continue to conform to in this present day? Are you going to continue to conform to something that does not reflect the truest version of you? Continue to seek the answers within and know that life and this present transitionary stage has fully brought down the highest form of the love frequency into our present day world to show us that this is the most pivotal thing that we should fully conform to. So much love, so much peace, so much bliss, so much joy I leave to each and every one of you as you continue to truly conform to the divine love presence within you that only cherishes and creates the truest version.